These are harrowing scenes. Panic, fear, terror, soaked, trembling children, screaming adults, and strange as it may seem, many of them had no idea about what was going on.
We were in the basement. My mother told me that we had run out of food and wouldn't have anything to eat until tomorrow. I heard a noise outside. Somebody was shouting that we had to go to the hospital, so we went there. When I came in, some people grabbed me, started pouring water over my head.
11-year-old Hassan Diab was one of the apparent victims in the White Helmet's video. Here he is, after being drenched and sprayed. He was found in Duma and interviewed by a Russian war correspondent, Evgeny Podubny. He's fine, if a little confused.
That's me in the video, that's me. Yes.
As were many other kids. Any child would be terrified. Ergo, the panic, which the White Helmets were there to film. He was eventually found, though, by his father, who was none the wiser.
I didn't hear anything about a chemical attack. I was outside, but I didn't notice anything. I heard that my family was in the hospital.
It does make sense. A poisonous gas would be invisible, you'd imagine. Everybody would want to take precautions, especially when you're hungry and they give out food at the hospital.
I went to the hospital, walked upstairs and found my wife and children. I asked them what had happened, and they said people outside were shouting about some smell and told them to go to the hospital. At the hospital they gave dates and cookies to the kids.
One of the doctors, who was reportedly on shift at the time, seemed surprised by the sudden influx.
Some people come to here and wash people in water, and they said, chemical attack, chemical attack. We didn't see any chemical attack symptoms here.
The doctor and others did, however, say that some people came in complaining about difficulty breathing, which is common. When an explosion destroys a building, for example, there's a lot of dust. Makes it difficult to breathe and especially affects people with asthma.
People from the White Helmets told us about the use of chemical weapons, but we saw no sign of that. If chemical weapons were used against those people, our medical staff would have also been affected.
We've sent a request to the White Helmets to comment on this, but have received no answer yet. What we have seen is more and more witnesses coming forward to say there was only panic and no evidence of chemicals.
We heard an explosion, and somebody said it was a chemical weapon. We ran to where the noise came from and started pouring water over the people. But they seemed to be okay, and then walked away without any help.
People got so confused. Somebody started pouring water over people's heads, saying there had been a chemical attack. I was at the spot with my wife and daughter, but none of us experienced any symptoms of chemical poisoning.
It's remarkable how these scenes convinced 3 countries to launch cruise missiles at Syria. Especially remarkable when you realize that so many of the people here had no idea about what was going on, only that someone shouted about chemicals.